Just like that, the boys are back.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Boy. Welcome, everyone, to the Hecate's Doorway podcast.
Welcome back. Great to have you all back with us.
The fuck is up?
Not much. You?
No, not really.
Alright, sounds fun.
Who's ready for another depressing-ass episode? I hope you are.
I am.
Because, man, this one's gonna be fun.
Yeah?
You know how Richard Chase was like a slow build-up to where it was just like all one plane, where it was just like, you know it's gonna get bad, and then boom.
Yeah.
Richard Ramirez is just like it's just like a long burn. Like once it gets bad, it's just bad the whole fucking ride.
Oh, man.
And this episode's when it starts getting bad.
Yay. This will be interesting.
Oh. Where we last left off, Richard Chase had just come back to LA after his first murder and was coming off his latest cocaine high with empty pockets. So was back to the streets to look for his next target for burglary, and that would take him to the town of Alhambra, I believe it's pronounced. Though that would prove unfruitful, and he would eventually make his way to the low-income neighborhood of Glassell Park, where he'd park his stolen car by a cemetery and stalk the neighborhood for his target.
A cemetery?
Did I say cemetery?
Yeah, you did.
Y'all know what I mean. Why would I...
It's cemetery.
It's cemetery. Oh, enjoy the laughs while you have them right now. Okay. And he would eventually find it in a 2-story apartment building and chose the first floor building. But when he entered the apartment, he began his search and he quickly realized there was nothing there worth stealing. And with that growing anger, he walked into the bedroom of 79-year-old Jeannie Vincow and plunged a 6-inch hunting knife into her chest. As she flailed, desperately trying to save herself, he'd sink the knife into her throat, so deep it nearly decapitated her. He stabbed her 3 more times, and then spent the next several hours in her apartment, drinking glasses of water, before grabbing a small radio and heading back out to drive off in his stolen car. As he drove, he almost ran a stop sign, but for some reason decided now was the time to follow the law. After driving through the intersection, he would see an LAPD car just to the right of him. A close call and an unfortunate turn of events, as this very well could have been the end of Richard Ramirez's blood trail had he been pulled over, still covered in his victim's blood. But that wasn't the case. And though this seems to have kept him from murdering again for some time, this was far from the end of this man's reign of terror. Just imagine, if he ran that stop sign, we wouldn't be making this episode.
No, we wouldn't.
He would have been...
many people would have been spared.
Maybe.
But at least would have not been killed by him.
Yeah. There's always the chance that he could have gotten pulled over and talked himself out of it. I doubt it, though, because he definitely was not a charismatic person.
And he was covered in blood.
He was covered in blood.
So I don't think any cop would be like, yeah, that's not suspicious.
Don't put cops that high. They're...
Smart ones. And this is LAPD. I'm pretty sure they are smart enough to be like, they deal with a lot of shit.
I guess that's true.
This is Los Angeles. I'm sure they're probably used to seeing and knowing what that means.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
I know.
He's like, nah, I should probably stop. I can't blow through this stop sign. That's illegal.
That's illegal. Calm down. I'm not getting pulled over tonight.
I ain't getting pulled over now. I gotta sell this radio so I can fucking inject cocaine into my veins.
Your boy.
God, I still can't believe that's what he does.
Hey, people gotta get their fix somehow.
Their 5-minute fix. I think we might have addressed this last episode. I can't even remember. We probably did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
But yeah, 5 minutes. Imagine doing something that only gets you high for 5 minutes.
I cannot remember the name of this drug, but a friend of mine told me about it. Apparently, it is the best high you will ever have in your life. And unlike heroin, you don't have to inject it or snort it. You just eat it, and it gives you the best fucking high ever. I don't know what it is. I forgot what it is. But yeah. Apparently it lasts for like 10 minutes.
Weird.
If I ever figure out, remember, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, because I'll definitely do it.
Hey, you never know.
I think I do.
Towards the end of the year, Richard was burglarizing home after home in a desperate attempt to maintain his cocaine addiction. But it seemed after being arrested for stealing and crashing a car while high on cocaine, he decided the life of a junkie wasn't the life for him. Yo, pirate's life for me. Oh, I guess not anymore.
A land pirate. Kinda.
Yeah, but then he's like, oh no, I don't want to be one.
He's like, man, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going straight edge.
He's a straight edge man.
Oh god, he was, kinda, wasn't he?
Yeah, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't do nothing anymore.
He's sullying all the things I like.
Killing made him feel better than any drug ever has. And by the new year, he seemed to have dropped the drugs in place of realizing his newfound purpose of being one of America's most prolific serial killers. In March of 1985, Richard would purchase a .22 revolver as his new weapon of choice, then make his way to a gas station for one of his classic steal a car while its owner is inside playing gags. Oh yes, the best gag ever.
The classics.
And he'd drive her off playing AC/DC's Highway to Hell and wearing his AC/DC hat in search for his next victim. And he would soon find it in Maria Hernandez as he watched her drive her gold Camaro back to her apartment complex.
That was his favorite hat, apparently.
This is gonna be sad.
I think I said this last episode too, but this is like the mid-'80s. At least listen to Slayer.
I know, right?
AC/DC does not sound... Like, I mean, AC/DC might have sounded evil, but come on, man. Death metal's starting at this point.
I know, right?
Fucking Cannibal Corpse, my dude. Well, actually, no, Cannibal Corpse wasn't yet.
No, not yet.
No.
No, later on.
Death, at least. They got Death, I
Way
think.
later. Yeah, Death.
5, yeah. I mean, this is like right at that point where thrash starts becoming death metal, like where it just keeps getting heavier, and you get less of those goofy ass like Dave Mustaine vocals, and you start getting like actual screamed vocals. Not to mention hardcore was going hard as hell in the mid-'80s, dude.
Yeah. You're
like fucking 3 or 4 years away from Earth Crisis. Okay, so that's enough of the side tangent. Let's see. Serious
time.
He followed her home and quietly parked his car, snuck out, and ducked into the garage as she parked just as the door was nearly closed, which, sadly, knocked off his AC/DC hat.
Ooh.
She walked to the door with keys in hand as she was met face to face with Richard in a combat pose with his gun drawn. I don't know what the combat pose is, but I imagine it was something that his fucking disgusting cousin taught him.
Yeah.
I just imagine him with like the T pose, but with the gun held.
Yes, the T pose. That's the combat pose everyone uses. T pose.
Yeah. Maria pleaded with Richard, which unsurprisingly did nothing to him, and he fired. But somehow every ounce of luck in the world seemed to be with her that night, and the bullet hit her keys, leaving her uninjured. She quickly fell to the ground and played dead, and Richard seemed to think the job was done and moved on to the house, where Maria's roommate, Dale Okazaki, was. She was in the kitchen at the time, and when she heard the gunshot and saw Richard entering the apartment, she ducked behind the kitchen counter. But Richard saw, and he quietly waited for her to poke her head up to see if he was gone. And when she did, he fired a single shot into her forehead, and then left the building, and saw that Maria was in fact not dead, though this time, for some reason, her pleas for mercy were met, and Richard lowered his gun and left to his car.
She really did have all the luck in the world that
God,
night.
I'm fucking... She really did.
Yeah.
Bullet bouncing off keys in your hand, like, that is incredibly lucky. And then, not only that, but fucking Richard Ramirez holds the gun to her the second time, and when she begs him not to, he's just like, okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Imagine that. I don't know which one is more lucky.
Oh, not her roommate.
She just psychic vampired all the luck out of her roommate.
Ouch.
Oh, that poor woman. There's a lot of them in this. Oh, God. Yeah, this is only going to get worse.
Ooh. As Richard drove on, he decided he needed to kill again and spotted his next victim, Veronica Yu. He tailed her behind her in his car, following her to wherever she may be going. Though not long into the chase, Veronica caught on and slowed down, motioning for Richard to pass her. And as he did, she began to tail him, shouting at him as she did.
She's just like, oh, this guy's following me? No, go ahead. And now I'm following you, bitch, huh? How do you fucking like it?
It's like, yeah, what now? What you gonna do?
What now, bitch? What now? No balls.
Well, now we know what Richard's gonna do. It's nothing good.
Oh, no. Yikes.
Richard would stop and get out of his car at a red light, going back to her car to try and tell her he was just following her because she looked like someone he knew. But she didn't believe him, and when Richard realized this wasn't going anywhere, he reached into her car through the open window to pull her out. He pulled her out of the car.
Tried to,
but didn't work. That's when he got out the Glock.
Yeah.
But she fought back, and Richard ran around to her passenger side, opened the door, and fired a single shot onto her side. Still alive, Veronica leapt out of the car to make a break for it. But Richard fired again, sending her falling to the ground. She screamed for help as Richard went back to his car and sped off. She would unfortunately die before first responders get her to the hospital.
I can only imagine, like, if she didn't tail him after that, maybe if she just, like, sped off in the other direction, she might have escaped him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that way, but I'm paranoid and anxiety riddled. But I guess who would think that this guy who's tailing you is gonna fucking jump out of his car and murder you?
I mean, if they're tailing you, chances are nothing good's gonna come of it.
No, I mean, I bet she probably just thought he was like just being one of those assholes who drives like an inch behind someone because they think it's gonna make him go faster.
Still, like, I don't know. For me, it's just like if someone's tailing me and then I notice and they realize what I'm doing and then they back off, I'm not gonna follow them. I'm like, nah, they probably have a gun or shit.
Yeah, no.
They're gonna try and kill me. I'm gonna go that way and they go that way.
No, I think people are following me all the time as is. If someone's actually following me, I'm getting the fuck out of there as soon as I can.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. Richard's second murder would get the interest of Detective Gil Carrillo.
Wait, second?
Mm-hmm.
Was that really his second murder?
It was his third.
Yeah.
But second murder in LA. I should have wrote that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a second murder in LA. I should have wrote that in there. But yes, his second murder in LA is going to get the attention of basically a fucking super cop.
Nice.
Yeah, this guy's the real deal. He had a hunch that the two murders were connected, and when the ballistics came back from the two scenes, it was determined that while the bullets at both scenes might not have been the same, they did, however, more than likely come from the same gun, with the help of Detective Frank Salerno, who is the guy who caught the, I believe it was the Hillside Stranglers. So,
nice.
This guy's already got two fucking serial killers under his belt. They attempt to catch one of America's most terrifying serial killers, with nothing more than ballistics, a vague description from Maria Hernandez, and his ever-loved AC/DC hat he left behind at the scene of the crime.
It's a good thing they didn't have forensics back then, or else he'd be caught.
I mean, they did, just not nearly as good as they have it now.
Yeah, true. They couldn't just pull a hair sample and tell from the DNA who it belonged to.
No, and the thing about that, too, is you have to... I mean, of course, now also... like once you get arrested for something, it's everywhere, but back then, like, if you got arrested in like a fucking different county, like only that county had that record.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah,
I
like
forgot about that.
Even if he had a criminal past somewhere else, which he did, they wouldn't be able to tell because they wouldn't have his DNA. Soon Richard would commit his next murders. This time he would target the home of Vincent and Maxine Zazzara, a couple whose home he'd burglarized a year ago. Coming back to the home, March 27th, 1985, he found an entry point in the upstairs laundry room window that had been left open. Using a garbage can to get up to the window, he entered the house and removed his shoes as he began to prowl through the home. He soon came upon Vincent asleep in their living room and fired one shot into the side of his head just above the ear. Maxine woke up from the sound of the shot, but Richard was on her before she even had a chance. He screamed things like, "Where's the money at?" and called her a bitch as he smacked her across the face, which apparently was like his favorite thing to say to people he was attacking.
Where's the money, bitch?
Bitch.
Where's the money?
He then tied her up in the bedroom as he went through their things, but Maxine was able to break free and went for the shotgun under the bed. Richard turned around to have the gun pointed at his chest and probably wished he'd been wearing the brown pants. But when the trigger was pulled, a big disappointing nothing left the barrel. Apparently just a week prior, Vincent had removed the shells from the gun when the grandchildren were over.
That sucks.
I know.
Very bad timing.
This just another. This man has too much luck. Like, he decides at the right time when to follow the law, and this man could have had a hole in his fucking chest.
He really could have.
But no.
Multiple holes.
But no. He has to get away. He just has to get away. Again.
Yeah, it's very dumb, but good luck.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us what happens next?
Richard became enraged and immediately shot Maxine 3 times before beating her and going into the kitchen, grabbing a carving knife to attempt to cut her heart out. But when he couldn't get past the ribcage, he decided to cut her eyes out instead, putting them in a jewelry box to take with him. He stabbed her again in the neck, the stomach, and the pubic areas before attempting necrophilia. Emphasis on attempt, as apparently the shock of almost being shot kept him from performing. Oof. And he grabbed the jewelry box, some of the Zazara's personal things, grabbed his shoes, and left the scene. Richard would sell everything he'd stolen from the home before making his way to the Cecil Hotel, where he would later state that when he looked at the eyes in the jewelry box in his room, he would just laugh. Damn.
Yeah, that's fucked, dude.
That really is fucked up.
Cut her fucking eyes out. This man is insane.
Nice.
That's fun.
Very nice.
Police on the murder scene would be at a loss for anything to identify the killer. Richard was always very careful to cover his tracks, though it was at this scene that the one thing that was used to link Richard's murder spree together was discovered: his shoe prints. Richard had left prints behind outside the window he'd climbed in through, and those shoe prints were fairly distinctive, as Richard wore Avia aerobic shoes. At the time, only 1,354 pairs of that shoe had been made, and only 6 of those pairs had been sold in LA.
Really, only 6?
Only 6.
That's a really small number, damn.
They went out of business, I think, around this time. But I guess they're back in business, because when I went to fucking Big 5 to get work shoes, there was literally Avia shoes there.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah, so this man has like a fucking 1 out of 6 shoe.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Richard's next victims were Bill and Lillian Doy. Richard cut a hole through one of their screen windows and slipped into the house. The couple had been sleeping in separate bedrooms, and Richard found Bill's first, firing a shot into his mouth, unfortunately not killing him instantly. Richard moved on to Lillian, where he ruthlessly beat and raped her. Bill was able to call 911 before succumbing to his injury. Richard left Lillian alive, and she was able to give a description of her attacker to police. Yeah. There's a lot of that in this.
I can see that.
It's just like one terrible thing after the other. It's not like Richard Chase, where you get to have these little things of like, oh, the vampire's driving the short bus. No, it's just he beat this person, he shot this person, he raped this person.
He does a lot of horrible things.
He does.
On May 29, 1985, Richard would attack Maribel Bell and Nettie Lane.
Nettie, I think.
Nettie Lane in their home. Both women survived the initial attack, but Maribel would later succumb to her injuries days later. This would be the first time Richard would leave satanic markings behind. He would take Maribel's lipstick and drew pentagrams on her left thigh, her forehead, and Nettie's bedroom wall. Though, if Richard wanted these to be his calling card, he practically achieved the opposite effect. When police came up to the scene, the markings and lack of shoe prints all but convinced everyone but Gil Carriolo, bitch.
You're putting extra consonants in there.
Carriolo, bitch. That this wasn't the same guy. Gil was already having trouble as it was convincing police these crimes were all being committed by the same person, as serial killers were already a new concept to the police. And on top of that, no other serial killer so far has had basically no victim type or MO, as this new addiction to the crimes threw a wrench in his efforts. It threw a wrench in his efforts.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, he was having the hardest time convincing people this was all one person, both because Richard had no consistency like serial killers all do. They all basically do the same thing, just slightly escalating throughout. Richard was just doing literally anything and everything, and this is only like not even 10 years, I want to say, after Bundy, and I believe Bundy was the first person to put like the term serial killer in like everyone's mind. Like, obviously there were serial killers before Bundy, but before Bundy almost no one believed that serial killers were a thing, because most people, at least police officers and like law people, I'm forget what would I call them, authorities.
Oh, that took you that long?
Yes. They believed that no one would kill someone they didn't know. So they would always look for, like, this person was murdered, it has to be someone they know. So the thought of, like, a random person killing someone, like, was just like a 1 out of 100 for them. And then Bundy came in, and people were like, oh, so that's something we gotta look out for now.
Yeah, okay. Because it happens a lot more often than you think.
Oh my god. So yeah. He was having a very hard time convincing everyone that they were looking for one guy. They thought there was just like an uprise in crime. Like, there's a bunch of burglaries, there's a bunch of rapes, there's a bunch of murders. And it isn't until nearly the fucking end of all of this that everyone's like, okay, maybe it is one guy.
Yeah.
Ugh, this is a fucking tale. Meanwhile, Richard picks out his next victims. Like I said, this is just again and again and again. Carol Kyle and her 11-year-old son, Mark. Richard broke into her home, cuffed Mark's hands behind his back, and put him in Carol's closet. Then he bound and raped Carol. Richard let both of them live for reasons unknown, as he does multiple times. After this, Richard tries twice to continue on his reign of terror, and thankfully fails both times. First, he tries to enter a home, but quickly runs off when he hears everyone in the house calling out to each other, hearing the noises outside, leaving his shoe print behind in the escape. His second attempt, he attempted to abduct a 6-year-old girl the following morning, but she managed to escape, and a witness to the kidnapping called police, giving a description as he got in his stolen blue Toyota and drove off. So, that's a bit of good luck, I guess.
Oh yeah. Especially for that kid.
Oh my god, I know. Imagine being that girl, like, growing up and then learning that you were almost abducted by the Night Stalker.
You would have been screwed.
God, that's the thing, too, is, like, if he did succeed, you don't even know what he would have done.
No.
He could have done anything from murder her to pedo shit to just terrorizing her and dropping her off.
Yep.
I think that's almost scarier.
Knowing that he could have literally done anything and everything, and yet at the same time done nothing, and just kept her there.
Yeah, he's a fucking real-life supervillain in the worst way possible.
As Richard drove away from his second failed attempt, he sped through a red light and was pulled over by a motorcycle cop. And as he wrote Richard the ticket, his radio sounded with a call for a tall Mexican man with black hair driving a blue Toyota who had just attempted to abduct a little girl. Somehow this officer didn't seem to put two and two together and just chatted with Richard as he wrote out the ticket about the series of crazy murders, even jokingly asking him if he was the one going around killing people in their homes. To which Richard replied, "No way, man. When are you guys going to catch that motherfucker?" The officer told him they'd have the guy in custody soon, jokingly asking again, "You sure you're on him?" And then the officer turned his back to him. Richard drew a pentagram on the dust of the officer's car and took off, leaving his car behind. That officer's not the smartest car cookie.
Just writing the ticket is like, attention, everyone be on the lookout for a tall Mexican man in with black hair driving a blue Toyota. And he's just sitting there looking at this tall black-haired Mexican man in his blue Toyota being like,
"Nah, it can't be him."
You him? No, shit. And then Richard just, when he's turned around, just draws a little pentagram and fucking runs away like Spring-Heeled Jack.
Jesus, man. Not the smartest cookie, sadly.
No, none of them are.
Imagine if he did put two and two together.
It
would have been the second time.
Third time, because of the time he almost got shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alright. And now, you must be thinking that now police have a car of a man who fit the description given by many victims of this string of attacks and murders, as well as him leaving a pentagram just as he had when he attacked two elderly women on the police officer's car before abandoning his vehicle, that this has to be coming to a close, right? Not quite. Since Detective Carrillo was part of the sheriff's department and Richard's car had been seized by the LAPD, Carrillo couldn't dust the car for fingerprints.
That is bullshit. I hate that sometimes.
The LAPD assured him they could do it themselves, but apparently they couldn't, as by the time Carrillo was given access to the car, the oils left behind by Richard's fingerprints had been ruined by the car being left out in the sun for too long. All of the different departments throughout the areas seemed to only want to be the one to break the case for the notoriety, and it seemed the only cops on the case who genuinely cared about solving it for all the right reasons were Carrillo and Salerno. A frustrating truth that no doubt kept this whole thing going far longer than it ever should have. And that's where we'll pick up from there next week with the conclusion of Richard Ramirez.
Well,
God, that's so fucking frustrating.
I know.
It's just like, no. We got the car. You didn't get the car. We'll dust the car for a fingerprint.
Sure you will.
And he's like, you might want to at least put that in lockup, not just leave it on the fucking street. No, don't you worry about it. You just go back to your fancy sheriff's department. And then it just sits out there and bakes.
And everything gets ruined.
Just, God, fuck. That's cool. There's so many instances where this could have been over.
I mean, at this point, it's his third strike.
Third? God, I mean, we should have saw this coming when the motorcycle cop was literally looking at the guy being like, "Man, you the killer?" "No, I ain't the killer." Yeah, it checks out.
Yeah, true.
It couldn't be him, Sarge. He said he's not.
I know, right?
Well,
that's part 2.
Y'all ready for part 3?
Thank y'all for joining us. We'll hope to see you again for part 3.
Yes. Remember to rate us wherever you're listening. 5 stars only.
5.
No, yeah. Make sure to follow us. Our Twitter's in the show notes. Mm-hmm. If you want to email us for anything, that's in the show notes as well as is our Patreon. If you would like to donate us, we just set it up now so where The $1 tier will get you a monthly tarot card reading from this bitch over here.
Hell yeah.
It'll be personalized too. It won't be like just a one thing. Like you will all get your own personal ones.
Just write me a question of what you want, and I'll do a reading, and you're gonna email back for me with pictures and descriptions of what the card means.
Hey.
Yep. So that way I won't just like, here, this is what this means. Good luck. I'll be like, no. This is what each card means individual, and here's what it means overall. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Do all that. Do it.
Do you want to tell them about the event?
Oh yeah, because this will be coming out before that. So, anyone who's in like the Washington, Oregon area, there is a small little thing going on called PNW True Crime Fest that we will be at. We will hopefully be there. We probably won't be like one of the official podcasts on the roster.
Yeah.
But we'll be there as guests.
Yeah.
Unless something goes wrong and we both can't get the time off, but I think we will.
Yeah, see why not.
Should be able to. It's the 8th and 9th of October, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be there at least one of those days.
Yeah.
Hopefully two.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. So y'all should come out.
Yeah. Hopefully we may get to meet people that might help us expand more.
Yay!
And if any of y'all listen to us and happen to be there too, then hell, that'd be even better.
Yay!
Yeah, how awesome it would be to actually meet people that listen to our own stuff.
Dude, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to bring stickers.
Oh yeah, we got stickers. We got stickies.
Stickies for the fannies.
Yeah, I might bring some other shit too. Maybe like just order like a couple of shirts or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some pins. Oh, pins. Pins are cool. People like pins.
Yeah.
Pins and magnets and dumb shit like that. I'll bring it in my backpack.
Hopefully they'll let you bring that in.
I would think so, but I've snuck backpacks into events many times.
True.
You just wear a jacket over it and don't pack it too full.
Nice. Good idea.
All right. Well, that will conclude part 2.
Thank y'all for coming and listening to our episodes.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You guys are great. Hail Satan, everyone. The correct way.
The correct way.
Do not do what this piece of shit did. He's a garbage person. Don't be a garbage person.
Don't cause another satanic panic. We already have one going on right now.
It just never ended. It's still going.
Yep.
Fuck them all. Hail Satan.
Blessed be